To have someone on Thursday night before Shabbos is not easy, and I don't know how many women will have it. And to get a big party, I'll go to Shkayach. Thank you very much. And Be'ez Hashem, the zchus of the Mechaber will be with him and his family, and to give everyone whatever we need. I just got to remember that the Rabbi Shimshon Nachmani, he lived on the 18th century. It was a chaver from the Ramchal, Rabbi Moshe Chaim Lutzato, and he also composed a song on his chasana. And he had only one son that he passed away when he was alive, and he never had another child, and that's why he was a big mekubal. He was a very machmir dayan. The Chida say that he was not on the mekilim side; he was only on the machmirim side. Also, when we learn, we don't say that he was like that. But he was a very big mekubel, with big dayan, and he wrote many, many sfarim. Almost all his sfarim he asked to never get in print, and he asked to get buried with all the ktavim that he had. And he left only 3 sets of sfarim, on the Chumash, on the Pirkei Avos, and on the Chamesh Megillas, and now they put out the Shir HaShirim Mevuar. Because he never had a child, that's why he promised basically few haftachot. But what we have to know that many gedolim, tzaddikim, they have haftachot. But when you see and you ask, no, I did it, I didn't see the haftacha, they tell you, it's not on you, it's on your grandchildren, it's on your neshama, it's on something. But the Zera Shimshon, he says something very powerful, that not only he make the haftacha, but we have to be medayek, and he say, V'nechem tir'ena, meaning that not only I bench you neshama, Gan Eden, something that we don't know what it means, but we'll see with our own eyes the haftacha. And he promised that to have kids, to have a shefa, to have money, to have Torah, to have Yirat Shamayim, everything we can imagine what we have. And I read something beautiful. Someone asked, how come that, let's say, he can be the biggest Gadol Ador, he was never in the all the time. How can someone can make haftachas like that? It's not on his hand. And the answer is very simple. You say because what he asked? He didn't ask you to go and jump and sing or dance or to come to his kever and to do some tehillim. He asked you for learning. And he say, Be'emet, the Torah give us that whoever is learning Torah, he have all the brachas. So he say, my Torah, when someone's learning Torah, he be'emet get hold of haftachas. You see, because it's only coming from the koach of the Torah, that's why be'emet he can be maftiach, whatever he can be maftiach. We started shiur since Parashas Noach. I was here Parashas Bereshis. We say the first shiur we was in Shabbos, so he's not recorded. The first shiur was recorded with Parashas Noach, and then Baruch Hashem we didn't stop. And in the shul himself, that I give twice the shiur, whoever know, one in French, and then I gave a second time at 10:30 at night till almost midnight, second time the shiur. And on the second time, we are a lot of people, and many, many people. They saw Yeshua's mamash after the first and second week. They have it, Baruch Hashem, for whatever they want. That's why it's not the koach of the maftiach, but it's the koach of the learning of the Torah. That's why many people that give shiur, they just read it, translate it, they try to do something. I try to give a little bit different. We learn inside, we try to explain, and we'll see what we come out. Usually, the biggest part of the week, that's what we're learning. To make some long class and interesting. This week, the shiur, it's the zchus of everyone who came, whoever will listen, and from our dear friend that he asked me to give the shiur that first of all we'll do for Shai Ben Yedid, Kishbuchu Yishtach Lo Refuah Shelema, Bekorov Mamash Bezer Hashem, and for a boy that David Ben Moshe, Kishbuchu Yimachziru Lemutav, will come to Torah with Yirat Shamayim, and Kishbuchu will see his father come to his chasna with Bezer Hashem, the way he's supposed to come. One of the biggest Gemara that everybody know is the Gemara in Masechet Shabbos, Daf Peches. I remember when we learned the yeshiva that every Shavuos we learn Daf Peches, that Matan Torah, that's the Gemara. On this Gemara, we find out most of the biggest question that we never find in Chazal. Klal Yisrael, HaKadosh Baruch Hu said the pasuk, Ofiya Meir Paran. HaKadosh Baruch Hu came to all the nation and asked, you want the Torah? He said, Torah maktuv ba. What do you have inside? He said to Edom, Lo tirtzach. Come, acharbecha tichyeh. I'm living, I'm killing. Went to Ishmael. Said, what do you have inside? He said, Lo tigzol. So I'm living with stealing. I can't. And he went to country after country and nobody wanted the Torah. He asked to Klal Yisrael, you want the Torah? It's a Nase v'nishma. We want the Torah. Then the Gemara is asking a very interesting question. He said the pasuk the Gemara is bring down in the Gemara, Vayityatzvu betachtit ha'ar. And Klal Yisrael sit behind the mountain. And the Gemara is asking, I understand. Vayityatzvu betachtit ha'ar, Vayityatzvu liyad ha'ar. There was need to sit next to the mountain, no behind the mountain. And the Gemara say that kafa ha'aleim har kegigit. HaKadosh Baruch Hu take the mountain and say, if you want to be mekabel Torah, fine. If not, sham tekvuraschem. Whatever you will be, that you will kill, you will die. And the question is very famous. If someone asks his wife, he's in shidduch, let's say you're coming and you have a beautiful shidduch, your wife, a beautiful ring, 5 carats, the most beautiful ring you never find in the world, and you ask, you want to marry me? Say, please, with sure I will do it. Then you take a gun, say, you will marry me, I'll kill you. So bring me the gun. She tell you right yes already. She'll give you the ring. She say right away, I don't need the ring. I only want you. You are my husband. I love you. It's fine. We say Nase v'nishma. HaKadosh Baruch Hu in the end of the Gemara say, Mi gila sod ze lebanai. When Klal Yisrael say Nase v'nishma, HaKadosh Baruch Hu himself was surprised. How come behemet Klal Yisrael know what the Malachi Ashares, they said to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, leoseh devaro, that to do what Hashem want before, lishmoa kol devaro. Why was in need of kafa aleim har kegigis? The question is not new. It's not Zera. Shimshon asked the question and is ready from the Tosfos. Tosfos Masechet Shabbat, he asked the question. Say Tosfos, ve'af al pi shekvar ikdima nase nishma. Tosfos he asked why HaKadosh Baruch Hu was in need of kafa aleim har kegigit, but Klal Yisrael already they say nase v'nishma. Shema yu chozrim keshiyiru ha'esh hagdola. Say Tosfos, you know why? Because that behemet, he gets scared when HaKadosh Baruch Hu will give the Torah with the fire, with the ananim, with the kol hashofar, with all the noise. They will not want the Torah anymore. That's why he gets scared. They won't. Shiyata nishmatam, because neshama went out. Ve'ad amar pekama davozara. Kulam kafit hainu har kegigit. Demashma dimaya kofe alehem lo yalem tshuva. Those that they ask in the very interesting question. In the beginning of Masechet Avodah Zarah, that is all on the Zera Shimshon, but Beremez Be'alma, that the Gemara said that at the end of the time, when Kadosh Baruch Hu will come and give a reward to Klal Yisrael, the Goyim will come and say, we also want the Torah, we also want the reward, we also want to do mitzvot. They will ask a few questions. We never had a Navi like Moshe Rabbeinu. We never kafata alhem har kegigit. Did you make like Klal Yisrael, that you put the mountain on the head? If you will do it, we also made the Torah. Meaning, akfiyah, it's something that he was mechayev. And if HaKadosh Baruch Hu was kofeh har kegigit on the nation, that's why all the nation will be mechuyav to get the Torah. And then they will never go to have an answer what don't do it. And not the goyim, they ask a question to Hashem. If behemet you did, and you were doing kfiyah to Klal Yisrael, and that's why Klal Yisrael made the mitzvahs. Why today you don't give us a reward for the mitzvahs? You never put us in the situation that we get forced to do the mitzvot. That's why now you cannot punish the world because we didn't get the Torah. Tosfos is asking, say klum kafit hainu har kegigit, demashma de'im yakofe alehem lo yalahem tshuva ve'acha amar demuda rabba leoraita. Before we coming to the answer of Tosfos, we have to find the Gemara. The Gemara is giving 2 answers. Usually, we are saying that the Gemara is not cholek, and the 2 Amoraim in the Gemara, there was one is adding on the second one, but the Zera Shimshon is not learning the Gemara this way. The Gemara say, Amar Avadin Bachama Melamed Shekaf Alem HaKegigit. ואמר להם, אם אתם מקבלים התורה מוטב, אילם שם תקבעו אתכם. אמר רב אחר בר יעקב, מכאן מודה רבה לאורייתא. He said that now we have a beautiful answer. Every time that we're doing an avera, we're going to say, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you know why we did avera? We didn't want the Torah. It was never beratzon. That's why you cannot punish me because I didn't do the Torah, because I was never wanted to do the Torah. The Gemara continue. Rava Amar, the Gemara say, Amar Rava, Af al pi ken hadur kiblua bimei Achashverosh. It's true, but with Achashverosh, then they receive the Torah beratzon. Usually, we don't learn that Rav Acha and Rava, they are in machloket. We're only learning that Rav Acha is saying Mikan Muda Rabba Leoraita, but Rava say it was true till a certain time, till we came and we arrived at the story of Mordechai and Esther. Then Hadar Kiblua, they receive the Torah again. The Zera Shimshon is not learning like that, and he's learning that Be'emet, he have a machloket between Rav Acha and Rava. That Rav Acha say that Be'emet, till the end of the time, we have an answer. When you go to Kadosh Baruch Hu, say, hey, my friend, you touch Muktzeh Shabbos? How come? Say, hey, you know what? I never won the Torah. You forced me to get the Torah. Rava will say, no, it's not true. That it was an answer till it was Mordechai ve'Esther. But before Mordechai ve'Esther, they have an answer. The question is, if it's like that, Ben Bar lefi Rav Acha. If we go accounting Rav Acha, and we're going accounting Rava, we have a very hard question. The first Beit HaMikdash, it was destroyed before the story of Purim. The story of Purim happened between the first and the second Beit HaMikdash. If we have Mikan Moda Rabba Leoraita, if we have an answer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu that we never won the Torah, and that's why we cannot get punished as the Zera Shimshon, very nice. Therefore, why HaKadosh Baruch Hu destroyed the first Beit HaMikdash? The first Beit HaMikdash, what we did? Avodah Zarah, Gilui Arayot, Shfichut Damim. So what? We never was masking in the Torah bichlal. You force us to get the Torah. If you force me to get the Torah, how come that Be'emet HaKadosh Baruch Hu punish us? How come HaKadosh Baruch Hu killed so many Yidden, Chmana Itznan, at the time of the first Beit HaMikdash? Therefore, you saw that also before the Hadar Kiblua, it was a certain Kabbalah. And if it was a certain Kabbalah, that Be'emet, what is the Rav Acha or Rava, the both of them say that Mikanu Dara Rabba Leoraisa. It's not true. We don't have an answer. I prove that Kadosh Baruch Hu came and destroyed the Beis HaMikdash. That's why he's asking. And he say, והמפרשים הוסיפו להקשות, אם כן דמודם, למה נענשו בחורבן הבית? Why Kadosh Baruch Hu destroy Klal Yisrael? He sent away the 10 Shvatim, they never came back. Millions of Yidden get killed. Someone want to learn, have to go in Masechet Sanhedrin, Gittin, Daf Nun Vav, Nun Zayin, Nun Chet. Had the Gemara explain how many millions of Yidden get killed on the Zman HaChurban. So I don't understand. What do you mean we get killed because of that? We never won the Torah. ועלו לו קיבוע תורה אלא מאונס, ואלא מודע, ולדידן זו אינו קושיה. He say, I don't think it's a question. שערי אמרינן ביומה בפרק כמה, מקדש ראשון מפני מה אחריו, מפני שהיו בו 3 דברים, עבודה זרה, גילוי עריות ושפיכות דמים. The Gemara say, we find a difference between the first Beit HaMikdash and the second Beit HaMikdash. The Gemara in Masechet Yoma say, why? On the first Beit HaMikdash, Baruch Hu destroyed the Beit HaMikdash because it's Avodah Zarah, Gilui Arayot, and Shfichut Damim. The second Beit HaMikdash was because it was no Achva, no Shalom Benehem, it was Lashon Hara, Rechilut, different Avodah Zarah. And the Gemara say that also, that from here we're learning that Sinat Chinam is the same level that Avodah Zarah, Gilui Arayot, Shfichut Damim. And he explained, והנה, אלו 3 עבירות, אין התלויים בקרבת התורה. He said, first of all, you have to know that Avodah Zarah, Gilui Arayot, Shfichut Damim, that is not part of the Taryag mitzvot. It's also part. But the Maise is coming from the Shivah mitzvot ben Noach. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Shivah mitzvot ben Noach, he said, that to believe in Hashem is nothing to do with the Yid and the Goy. Every human being on the planet have to believe that HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world. That's why Avodah Zarah said, Zera Shimshon, is nothing to do with because we get the Torah. גילוי עריות, also, ודבק באשתו, ולא באשת חברו, דגמרא סייד, פרשת צעיר דף נ"ח. לדעת היא המצווה, החיוב to a guy, to be only with his wife, ודבק באשתו, ולא באשת חברו. גילוי עריות is not something that only a yid, also a guy have to be careful on גילוי עריות. שפיכות דמים, also, that דמי חמד ראש, the pasuk say, that we have to be careful. והנה השאר עבירות אינם כתובים בתורה, ואפילו קיימו התורה, ראויים הם להיענש עליהם, לפי שהם משבה מזבח נוח. אמנם, צריכים לדברי התוספות. He's asking a very hard question. שכתבו שהיו חוזרים כשיראו האש הגדולה. He say, I don't understand. That תוספות say, you know why הקדוש ברוך הוא was כופה עליהם הכגיגית? כלל ישראל won the Torah. But we'll see why it was a certain need for HaKadosh Baruch Hu to give Torah be'esh, with fire, with scare. And that's why HaKadosh Baruch Hu gets scared. After they will listen the noise, they will see the fire, they will coming back. He say if it's like that, Moshe Rabbeinu, in Sefer Devarim, when he's reminding the whole Torah what happened, meaning all the men died already, that only the children they didn't see the Kabbalat Torah because it was babies, it was small, it was less than 20. And Moshe Rabbeinu say, מן השמיים משמיעך את קולו, אתה הורד הדעת כשם הוא האלוקים אינו מלבדו. You have to see הקדוש ברוך הוא, מן השמיים משמיעך, הקדוש ברוך הוא from the sky, he gives the Torah, ליסרך, ועל הארץ ערך את אישו הגדולה, ודבריו שמעת מתוך האש. HaKadosh Moshe Rabbeinu say to Klal Yisrael, you know what it was Matan Torah? The most beautiful things. HaKadosh Baruch Hu came to the world with a fire to give you the Torah, the biggest gift. Yes, I don't understand. The Tosfot just say that the fire, it was what it was scared Klal Yisrael so much that HaKadosh Baruch Hu was need to kofeh alehem kargigigit because maybe they will come back. I ask you, go to the store, and suddenly a guy is coming and he scare you. You want to forget about the scare. You don't even want to remember. Why? Because if not, you get to have a traumatized. Why Moshe Rabbeinu, if it was the fire, was traumatized in Klal Yisrael? Why Moshe Rabbeinu is coming back? Let me prove you the Torah is great. You know why? That Hashem came with the fire. No, please don't remember that. I don't want. I want to push away, far away. Everything you got to make me scared from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the opposite. Remind me that HaKadosh Baruch Hu came, Anochi Hashem Elokecha. Remind me the Nisim al Hayam, what Hashem did, and the Asara Makot. Why Moshe Rabbeinu is remember what he was the most scared of Klal Yisrael? That HaKadosh Baruch Hu was need to force Klal Yisrael bekafale HaMakegigit. You have no sense. ומה שכתבו עוד שחזרו משום שפחד נשמתם. Tosfot say, another answer. He say, you know why? Because he was be'emet 2 times and 2 Kabbalat Torah. When Klal Yisrael say Naseh v'nishma, it was before Hashem say Naseh before Hashem say Anochi Hashem. Then it was nice. Then Hashem say Anochi Hashem. They all die. Then they came back. They was able to say, hey, when we came back, we didn't say Naseh v'nishma. And because we didn't say Naseh v'nishma, it was a new Bria. And because it was a new Bria, it was no Kabbalat Torah. That's why it was in need of the Kfiyah Lehem HaKigigit, because after they will come back with this new Neshama, with the new concept of Pacha Nishmatam, the Naseh v'nishma, what they say before, it was not applying anymore. רק שלא רצו לשמוע מפי הגבורה, אלא מפי משה. He asked, I don't understand. It's true, they get scared. When they came back, what they ask? They say, we don't want the Torah? Or just they were scared that אין סומכים על הנס. Hashem say, Anochi Hashem, they die. לא יהיה לך אלוקים, they die. They say, listen, after twice we die, maybe the 3rd time we'll die, we're not coming back. He asked, I don't understand. They didn't ask to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, we don't want the Torah. They only asked to Hashem, please Hashem, we don't want to die, surviving, dying, surviving, please. Say to Moshe Rabbeinu will give us the Torah, and that's it. Meaning, also after they came back the 2nd time, they asked the Torah. Meaning, if the Tosfot say they get need the kafale markegigit because parchanishmatam and the scare, why when they're coming back the third time, the second time of the meaning, the third time of the neshama, they're still asking the Torah? Meaning you see that also after they die, they wanted the Torah. If they want the Torah, why be'emet Tosfot say that they get scared of parchanishmatam? דעל מה שלא קיבלוה, ועוד, מה שכתוב בסוף דבריהם, דעל מה שלא קיבלוה, אין להם תשובה, אבל מה שלא קיימוה יש להם תשובה. הם דברים תמוהים. Tosfot continue and say that באמת, on what they didn't receive the Torah, they don't have an answer. But why they was not mekayem the mitzvot, that he was no answer that. Why the goyim, they didn't mekayem the mitzvah? He asked, they understand, he said, if you are not mekayem the Torah, what it will serve to have a Torah and don't mekayem the Torah? Explain to me. The Torah, lo haya limud ikar, ela ma'aseh. The Gemara said, Shammai and Hillel, they was fighting for 2.5 years if a limud ha'ikar or a ma'aseh ha'ikar. The Gemara say that in the end they say, Sha'alimud mevi alidei ma'aseh. Meaning if you're learning and you don't accomplish, it's nothing. The ikar is what? To be mekayem. That's what Tosfot say. No. Why they're not mekayem? They have a problem. But why they didn't receive the Torah? It's a problem. What's the problem? That if they will never be mekayem the Torah, therefore why is the ikar? Was once Aristo. Maybe you hear from Aristo. Rambam said that Aristo was, he get the Chokhmah just behind the level of the Nevuah. That it was Aristo. Aristo was at the time of Socrates. Socrates was Ma'amin Bashem, and he was Doresh from his Talmidim, from his students, a very high level of Torah, of Emunah, that, you know, that Socrates get killed. In the end, he get punished, that he was need to take some poison, and he was need to drink the poison, and when he drank the poison, he was slowly but surely dying. And Aristotle was in the last class, and he cried when he saw Socrates dying from the poison, because Socrates was believing Hashem. And he said to Aristotle, if you're crying because I'm dying, meaning you never understand nothing about what I'm teaching, please go away from the last class. And Aristotle was sending away from the last class from Socrates. Chazal say that Aristotle, he was asking a level of midot from his students, not one Rosh Yeshiva today, Ponyovich, Slabodka, Novardok, tell whatever you want. Nobody today will have the chutzpah on the last 500 years to ask the level of midot what Aristotle was asking from his student. And one day, Socrates, Aristotle was asking. And one day, it was a shiur klali of midas, a very deep. And he was screaming, the rabbi. Mr. Aristotle was saying and was doresh that to be careful on the daka shebadaka. There was student, he didn't understand the class. He went to the house of Aristotle, knocked on the door, wanted to ask a question. And he saw Aristotle was a middle to have a relationship with many women, with a man, and with an animal. And the guy gets shocked. And he says, Rabbi! And Aristotle looked at him and said, why you look suddenly very surprised? He said, but Rabbi, that's why you're teaching. He said, I'm not in school. I'm in my house. And Chachamim say that exactly the difference between Torah and Goyishkeit. Torah, it's everywhere. You wake up in the morning, you wash your hand, which feet you put on the floor, what you doing. You go to sleep, you have to look at the watch. Before Chatzot or after Chatzot? Before Chatzot on the left, after Chatzot on the right, not on my back, not on my front. Everything you have to go in the shower. From where I'm starting, my head, from my right hand, from my left hand, from which feet I go to wash myself, where they go to put my underwear, my top underwear, my right, my left, everything in the Torah. Nothing can be living in the Torah. Therefore, the Zera Shimshon is asking, if we have Kabbalat Torah and we are not Mekayem, what that will give to someone? Zero. I meet personally a Rav, everybody know that Rav Shlomo Amar, the chief rabbi of He was of Yerushalayim today, but he was chief rabbi of Israel. And he told me the story myself. His Rav was a Talmid from the Chazon Ish. And he was in a heart operation that in the 1960, that he was not done in Israel. He was only doing in France or in America. They sent him to France, to Paris, to get the operation. The doctor looked at the Rav, and it is a very complicated operation, and he is ready to do it. The Rav said, okay, I'm ready, but I need to know how much is costing the operation. I'm not a millionaire. I know I cannot pay everything. The doctor said, I will do the operation in one condition. After, if everything is going well, I will ask you one question. And if you answer me this question, the operation is for free. The Rav say, with one condition, that is nothing against my Torah. So no problem, a deal. Shake the hand, he made the operation, he treated the Rav, and for a couple of months in the hospital, in the end, he asked, no, it came the time that I want you to ask me your needs. So no problem, meet me tomorrow in my office at 10 o'clock. I listened the story myself, not from a cassette. He told me the story to myself. He came in the office. The doctor was a goy. He opened the Gemara in Masechet Zvachim. He opened the Gemara, and he asked, I have a question in Masechet Zvachim. They said, say it again? Said, yes, I have a question in Masechet Zvachim. Rabbi said, you are a Yid, you are a goy. I said, I'm a goy. I learned the university with a Jew. And every night, this Jew was living for 1 hour. Every night. I followed him once, where are you going? He told me, I'm going to learn Talmud. I said, what do you mean learn Talmud? We have the biggest book, the most difficult book. We're going to be the best surgeon. Why are you doing with the Talmud? See, you don't know the Talmud. If you will know the Talmud, everything we learn is Gornish Mungonish, GMG. And he said, I don't believe you. And every night he was going, but he was the most and the biggest and the smartest student in the whole hospital. And one day I said to myself, if this man is the most brilliant man, he's good to learn Talmud, meaning he has something inside. He cannot be stupid. He has something MS inside. I went and I learned myself also Talmud. Since then, the last 20 years, I don't learn nothing beside Gemara, Rashi, Tosfot. I know Shas by heart. The Rabbi, he was not believing what he's listening. The guy is a Shas man. And Shas going. And he went and he asked a Shaila that the Rav himself didn't know the answer. He said, I don't know, but I promise you I will go and I will ask in Eretz Israel the question. He went to the stipler and he asked him the question. The stipler say is a bomba kasha. The guy said, who asked the question? He told the story. And he gave the answer because he promised. But then the stipler called him, say, I have a double bomba question. Say, why? Say, how come someone can ask a so hard question and to stay a goy? So that is the hardest question. So that's what I understand. The guy knows the Shas. The guy knows how to ask a real question. You don't feel the Torah. You stay a goy. But I can understand. I said, that I don't have an answer. That's what he's asking over here. How come Tosfot said they will receive the Torah? They will not be Mekayem. They have no sense. Why does it explain? ומתחילה I say, ישתן טעם להמנהיג לקדוש ברוך הוא מתוך האש. And the question is, we have to ask in the beginning. Hashem say, they say nase v'nishma, but they will be scared from the fire. That's why Kofela Mekegit. You know what? I have a very simple solution for you. Don't bring any fire. Just bring some good smell, give him some bouquet of flower, and that's it. Why he was in need of fire? Why Hashem was need to bring the fire? And because of the fire, Klal Yisrael will be regretting to get the Torah. They need to do the kafala mekigit, and then they will have an answer for thousands of years. Modaraba leoraita. You make everything complicated and everything will be simple. Don't bring fire. Everything fine. We're closing the deal over here. ולמה חזרו ישראל מחמת האש? והיינו, שאף על פי שאמרו, ישראל שעמדו על הר סיני, פסקה זו המתן. We know, and that we're coming to a very interesting concept. We know that we live on the world, it's called Olam HaTikun. Also, you know that at the time when Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai write the Zohar, Adam HaRishon came to Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai and he asked, I have one favor to ask you. So what favor? Please don't write the Zohar. Say, why not? He say, because you go to talk about the Chet of Adam HaRishon and people will be mezalzel on me. But nobody understands what it means, Chet Adam HaRishon. Because we all live on the concept of a Chet. Muktzeh, Shabbos, Borer, Bishul, whatever the Avera we do. We all know what it means Avera. We all know what it means Yetzer Hara. To understand what it means Yetzer Hara with no Yetzer Hara, no one in the world can understand what it means. How come Adam HaRishon was over the Tzivui HaKadosh Baruch Hu if he didn't do any Yetzer Hara yet? That's why Adam HaRishon, he begged Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, please, don't talk about me in the Zohar because you have no hasaga what it means say Yetzer Hara with no Yetzer Hara. How come you can say that you have Yetzer Hara? But in Maisi, we're living in the world called Olam HaTikun. And the Olam HaTikun, basically, what it means Olam HaTikun, you have many explanations. But I will give you what he said in the Orach Chaim HaKadosh and what the Chatam Sofer, he was also explaining. The Chatam Sofer is asking one very difficult question. He said the Yetzer Hara is coming over here to give us a reward on the mitzvah. Every Shabbos say, do I go to do the last buying or I don't go? I will come to my 18 minutes or I don't go my 18 minutes. Do I do A or I do B? Say, no, I don't do. That's why you get the reward. Because you fight with Yetzer Hara. But Adam HaRishon, before that he get the Yetzer Hara, it was no sachar. It was no reward to don't eat the Etz Hadat. It was no reward to eat, to don't eat the Etz Hadat. Why be'emet HaKadosh Baruch Hu create the Etz Hadat and the Yisro if was no reward? The Chatam Sofer explained that be'emet Adam HaRishon was need to eat the Etz Hadat. And if you are medayek from the Rambam in the last Perek Yud Aleph from Milchot Melachim, the Rambam say that when Mashiach will come, it's not like we believe that he will not be any Yetzer Hara. That the Chatam Sofer say today we have a problem. Ki Yetzer lev ha'adam ra mineurav. And he's asking a very simple question. If Hashem want that we be good, why didn't create us Yetzer lev ha'adam? Tov mineurav. We'll be a good child. Listen to the teacher. Listen to our parents. At the bar mitzvah, we'll give you a gift, a Yetzer Hara. Then you already get used for 13 years to do a lot of mitzvot. And you will have a small Yetzer Hara. You will fight it. And you will be a great man. You'll be Moshe Rabbeinu. Why we have Yetzer Adam lev mineurav? Answer the Chatam Sofer. You're right. HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted from the beginning that the Tov will be mitrabi al hara. And the man will be Yetzer lev Adam Tov mineurav. But Adam HaRishon, he only eat the Etz Hadat too early. He was supposed to eat it on Shabbat, and when he will be eating on Shabbos, then he will have a double neshama and neshama yetera, and that it will be double tov on the ra. And when you have 2/3 of the good, and then you add the 1/3 of the ra, the tov umerabe al ra, and then ki yetzer lev adam tov mineurav. But what happened Adam HaRishon? That he eat the Etz Hadat when he was only 50-50. Exactly. And on the 50-50, that's we're getting on the bad, and that's why we have it. The Orach Chaim HaKadosh go far with this idea. The Brisker of the Bet HaLevi also go very far on Parashat Pekudei. You can see that he say, Ka'asher tziva Hashem, 26 times. He say that be'emet the Chet of Adam HaRishon, what is called Chet Adat, is because Klal Yisrael, they put too much, Adam HaRishon, too much machshavot, and the machshava of the mitzvah made him to make a mistake and to become an avera. That's why it's called Chet Etz Hadat, because it was the da'at he was chote, not the action that he was chote. At the time they say Naseh v'nishma, what it means Naseh v'nishma? Naseh v'nishma means we do, and we don't listen any kind of any da'at. The Beis HaLevi say that it was exactly the same avera of the Chet HaEgel. What's Chet HaEgel? They say El Elokecha Israel, El Elohecha Israel on the Egel. Explain the Bet Levi that's because they wanted to have a Mishkan, a real Mishkan, and they saw what it means the Yosef HaTzadik, and they saw the Merkava, but it was not tzivui from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And when we do something with no tzivui, we're coming to do the biggest Avera in the world. And he said that's exactly why Klal Yisrael say Naseh v'nishma. At the time when they say Naseh v'nishma, that they get back, they were metaken the chet of Adam HaRishon. But now we have to understand, Gemara say, that's why we find the stira in the Psukim. Once he said in the Luchot that the Kadosh Baruch Hu ve'aluchot and ktuvim be'etzba Elokim, and another time he said charut al aluchot. That's why Chachamim was in need to explain what it means charut, cherut mi malach hamavet, cherut mi yetzer hara, cherut min hasatan, atikha charut, engraving, but cherut, freedom. And explain the Zera Shimshon, a mamar that's from the Rabbi Pano. Rabbi Pano lived a little bit before the Zera Shimshon on the 7th century. He was a Gaon, he was a Mekubal, he bring in the halacha. If you look on the Magen Avraham, all Yichot Sofer, Siman Lamed Bet in the halacha, on the Magen Avraham, the Mishnah Berurah bring a lot from the Rabbi Pano. And he say that Umitchila explain, והיינו שאף על פי שאמרו ישראל שעמדו על סיני פסקה זו המתן, אינו רוצה לומר שפסקה לגמרי. Over here, he tried to explain something very difficult. And he say what it means that the Zohama from the Nachash, that from the Avera disappeared. If Klal Yisrael, after they say Naaseh v'nishma, they be'emet came back exactly like he was Adam HaRishon before the Chet, on the same level, or not exactly on the same level? What and how will be able to measure what it means Adam HaRishon before the Chet? So it's very simple. If you will go after Matan Torah, for the first 40 days after Matan Torah, did someone die in the world? Or nobody died in the world? Not by the Jews. Let's say by the Goyim, by the Chinese, by the Japanese, by the Hindus. Did someone die or someone never die? If someone died, meaning they didn't do the tikkun again. Because by the tikkun of Adam HaRishon, that it was supposedly that nobody will never die. And because we find out that we never hear that by the Goyim also, that the death was disappeared in the world, meaning that the Goyim, they were still dying. If they were still dying, meaning that it was never an ultimate tikkun like it was previously, like Adam HaRishon. Therefore, what it means that Paschal Zohar Matan, when Chachamim explain to us that because they say Naaseh v'nishma, they came back on the previous time like it was Adam HaRishon began Eden. If it's like that, how come that the Chinese and the Japanese and the French and the American and I don't know which country there was a lot of people dying? Therefore, we have to say that it was not a clear tikkun and the entire world. And he say, who saying that? And he say, וכן כתב 10 מאמרות, that is באמת the Rabbi Pano. He say over here, וכבר נודע, the Rabbi Pano explain, כי הפסק הזוהמה מישראל לא יספיק לכלל המציאות. And he say that also, if Klal Yisrael was metaken and was saying Naaseh v'nishma, and he was be'emet metaken, was able to be metaken, עד שהושלים התיקון לכל באי עולם. Meaning the Rabbi Pano explained that you have two tikkun of the Chet Adam HaRishon. You have on the first level is on Klal Yisrael. On the second level is on the entire world. And he said that the Zera Shimshon, also if Klal Yisrael, when they say Naaseh v'nishma, there was Paschal Zohar Matan on themselves, that it was no more dying, there was no more sicknesses, there was living on the world, that it was like previously with Adam HaRishon in the Gan Eden. But the world was not yet metukan. Meaning we need a double tikkun. that is called דבר הפרטי on דבר הכללי. That's what called micro or macro. No, you have in a company, you have the employee is doing his job. He's thinking that he's doing the best, but he's only do what he's supposed to do. It's a micro work. But the big boss of the company know that Shimon didn't do well, and Levi didn't do well, and Philip didn't do well. You have a lot of people that didn't do what they're supposed to do. That's why we have micro and macro. Meaning we have two tikkunim. The tikkun of Klal Israel is one, and you have tikkun ha'olam, is the second tikkun. And the Rama Mipano say that also, after we say Naaseh v'nishma, it was not yet finished the tikkun ha'olam. It was still need to make a tikkun. And the question is, okay, very nice. Now we need two tikkun. How are we doing it? No, we do what we're supposed to do. We say Naaseh v'nishma. We accept HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We left Mitzrayim. Everything great. What do you want from me? What can I do anymore? What can I do to make the ultimate tikkun? Why you want me to make the Chinese Jews? Hashem asked them. They didn't want it. They asked the Ishmaelim. They didn't want it. What we can do to bring the ultimate tikkun? ולפיכך נינו וגמרו תלמוד גדול ופרשו המפרשים דבריו שרצה לומר שבלימוד התורה שהיא כאש. Say the Zera Shimshon that you know what he say in the end. I print it where I print over here, and he say that לא יפסיק כלל המצוות עד שלושם התיקון לכל בעולם לפיכך נימנו וגמרו. The Rama Mipano, you don't mention who's Nimnu Vegamru. It looks like Mekubalim. I know you have it from the Kitve Ari. I know from what you have it. He said Nimnu Vegamru Limud Gadol Shemevi Lide Maaseh. He said the Rama Mipano that you know what it will bring Be'emet, the ultimate tikkun. It's magical. We say Naaseh v'nishma. We go to learn Torah. And when we go to learn the Torah, the Chinese people, the Japanese people, the French people, they go to have the tikkun. Meaning you have two different tikkunim. You have one is called Beshev ve'al ta'aseh, and then you have one is called Bekum ve'aseh. You have two different mitzvot in Torah. You have a mitzvah aseh and mitzvah lo ta'aseh. That the Ramban say that it's a mahloket between Bet Shammai and Bet Hillel, if aseh doche lo ta'aseh no, in the beginning of Masechet Yebamot. And the Ramban explained what is the ikar mahloket between Bet Shammai and Bet Hillel, if the chesed is bigger or the gvura is bigger. Aseh, it's milashon chesed. Lo ta'aseh, it's milashon gvura. And he said that's why Shammai, they say that aseh eno doche lo ta'aseh, because Shammai is the biyesod ha-gvura. That's why he said the ikar is the gvura, lo ta'aseh. Hillel say no, the ikar is aseh, the ikar is chesed. That's why the chesed is gover on the gvura. It's chesed sheba gvura. If you remember the last quick shiur, we're talking about opening the sea and at the same time punishing the Mitzrim. If you look on the Ohev Yisrael, the Apteruv, he brings the same yesod, and he said that vehaven, and he said that is the tikkun of chesed sheba gvura. Look inside on the Ohev Yisrael. Meaning we have two different maasim. We have one is passive, one is active. Fact to be mekabel the Torah is on the passive way, but that is not finished. You have to work to do. Which work do you have to do? You have to come and start learning. If you don't learning, that you don't do. Rabbi Yisrael Salanter was saying the whole time that when a Bachur Yeshiva is learning Torah in Volozhin, have a Yid in Vilna that is coming and doing tshuva. That's what we explained for many years. I don't want to come in politics. Between the machloket of Avram and Noach. Rashi's bring down, Ele told Noach that tzaddik haya bedorotav. Rashi bring a machloket Rav Shmuel. What happened if Noach will be in a different generation? If he will be a tzaddik, or he will not consider a tzaddik. Why? Because Noach, he didn't do many talmidim like Avraham Avinu. But kol nefashot asher asu becharan. I got to ask you one question. If I got to ask you, before answer, think a second. Who did more for the world? Avraham Avinu or Noach? Who did the most for the world? Avraham Avinu, the Baal HaChesed, or or Noah?
Noah.
Why?
Because the whole world would be destroyed.
Besides saving the world.
No people.
Besides saving. I say, Baya is the avodah. The answer is, we will say Avraham. But the answer is Noah. I'll tell you why. Why? Because Avraham have hundreds of Talmidim. כל הנפשות אשר עשו בחרן. What happened with all these Talmidim? Zero. Noah had one Talmid. No. Shem learned by Yitzchak learned by Shem. Look at Tosfot Baal HaZekanim say, Vayelech Yaakov biv'er Shava. Say Tosfot, he went back to Shem ve'ever. Noah had one Talmid. Shem. Shem, he looked the world. He said, my father did wrong. Change. Become Avraham Avinu. No. He's getting the same derech. Why? You see your father destroy the world. Become a different person. He's taking one Talmid. His grandson, ever. Shem ve'ever, they had one Talmid. Avraham. Avraham had one Talmid. Eliezer, that he stayed. He went to Shamayim. Yitzchak went to Shem ve'ever. Yaakov to Shem ve'ever. I don't understand. You just tell me that Avraham is the best man in the world. But in the end, who saved the world? Noah. That is the famous machloket, what to do. Do we need to go outside and make Baal Tshuves? Or we stay in the yeshiva and we're learning and the world is changing? Avraham say, let's go outside. Mif'alim, doing. I don't come in politics over here. I'm talking about a yesod, a machloket in Yiddishkeit. How we changing the world. Avraham say, we go, we put tefillin, we put mezuzahs, we do a lot of things. Beautiful. It's look nice. But what's in the ends happening? Unfortunately, Avraham, he didn't get one Talmid. Noah, he said, no problem, I get one. But this one's get another one. And this one's get another one. And then we have the entire Klal Israel. Meaning that Torah is only Nimnu Vegamru. We're coming and we'll learn. By Torah, you're learning over here, then the guy is changing in the end of the world. That's the power of the Torah. Say the Rama Mipano, you know how we doing the Sheva Al Ta'aseh is the Kabbalah. It's beautiful. You know how we doing the Kum V'aseh? It's by learning. When you learn Torah, that's why the world is changing. And that is the part of the Yisod of what happened. Rabbi Khan Wasserman, he came to the state and in 1930, and he went to the Chafetz Chaim. He asked the Chafetz Chaim, I come to the state to raise money for Baranovich. What I would say to the American Jews, he was no, like today, Baruch Hashem, yeshivot, he was very far. And he was asking, what I will say to the world to give me money for the yeshiva. And the Chafetz Chaim say, we could say one thing. Since Matan Torah, the world changed a lot. Everything, the way that you get dressed, what you eat, how you behave, where you live, how you're traveling, everything changed. But you have one thing that never changed. The way that we're learning the Torah. And he say, the same halacha that Moshe Rabbeinu say to Klal Israel and Sinai, 2,000 years after, we're saying the same Torah, and we don't change. And because we were able to maintain something that it was never changed, is enough to give us some money, say Chafetz Chaim. Rabbi Chaim was someone, when he came to the state in 1930, he said over and over and over. And he said, you know why you have to give me some money? Because we keep something that nobody in the world was able to keep. No changing. Staying the same for thousands of years. And that is Limud Torah. The Limud Torah is not changing. And he say, that's why the Torah, HaKadosh Baruch Hu was in need to give on the fire. Halo, kol dvarai ke'esh, ubiprat im ilmad bekol ram ubekol kocho. And he say, what it means Torah? Torah you think is half asleep. I say to the Bachur Yeshiva the whole time, say, when someone is learning, when he's sitting, it looks like a lamed, then he's a lomed. When he's sitting like that, it looks like a ayin, then he's ayef, then you don't learn nothing. That when you're ayef, that you don't catch it, that Akol Kol Yaakov, we're learning with Gishmak, with fire, we're getting, that's the Torah. The Torah is a fire. Someone that once, the rabbi was invited to give a speech, and before he was a rabbi, a conservative rabbi, I know, more than Orthodox, I know. He was speaking. Yes, I will give you a speech. And I said, what's Torah? The guy, he said Torah, and he don't screaming, that is, it's dead. You have no fire. There's no nothing inside. The Torah is giving ke'esh. Whoever is learning need to be on the fire. Why? And he say, ki kavanat hakol ve'akoach leshaber haklipos. He say, we know that the world, Hashem is hiding. You don't see Hashem in this cup. But truly, Be'emet, the Rambam say, in the beginning of the Ilchot Deot, that you have nitzot from HaKadosh Baruch Hu inside. You don't see it. But on this water, you know how many water fight to come in this table and to have it a shiur Torah and a bracha? We have no idea. We don't have any idea what it means of water. The Baal Shem Tov HaKadosh say, the Gemara say in Perkei Avot, that שלושה שאכלו ואין בהם דברי תורה, כאילו אכלו מזבחי מתים. And the question is, why zivchei metim avodah zara? As the Baal Shem Tov, why the Mishnah didn't say כאילו אכלו avodah zara? Why say כאילו אכלו zivchei metim in plural? He say that the Baal Shem Tov, that everyone in the world want to grow. Meaning we have a domem, tzomeach, chai, medaber. A domem is a stone, a earth, nothing. She's dreaming to become a tzomeach. That's a dream. A tzomeach is dreaming to become a chai. A chai is dreaming to become a medaber. A medaber is dreaming to become a Jew. And a Jew is dreaming to become what? To become a malach. That is a saga. Therefore, the domem, when you plant a seed inside the earth, is a domem. What's she becoming? A tzomeach. Then the tzomeach have a dream to become a chai. What she's dreaming? That the cow will eat this piece of grass, and now she will become part of the cow, and now she's become a chai. And the chai is dreaming to become part of a medaber. That a man will be eating, and we're eating on the chunt. And he say, meaning, when a man is doing and is eating with no Torah, what is killing? Is killing the domem, the tzomeach, and the chai. Shlosha she'achlu. What shlosha? Meaning when you're eating a domem, a tzomeach, and a chai. Shlosha she'achlu ve'en ba'em divrei Torah, כאילו achlu mizivchei metim. No, you just kill the domem, the tzomeach, and the chai, said the Baal Shem Tov. When we learn the Torah, not with sleeping. Sleeping is nothing, not at half of the way that when a man is learning with gishmak, with cheshek. This call, this screaming, this sweating that we have, this tiring that we're breaking because we're learning, that far away, very far away, you have a Yid. He forgot about tefillin, he forgot about Shabbat, he forgot about everything. Suddenly, how did he break his tavot? What happened? It's very simple. Because you had a fire. Just go with the fire next to a grass. The whole house will burn fire. Montreal, no, I'll be yeshiva. I asked the Bachurim. I'm not joking. I'm a very cool Rosh Yeshiva. But one thing I don't let any smoking in the yeshiva. Why? Everything is wood. -40 outside, +22 inside. In a second, the building is going on fire. I say, yarek v'al ya'avor. Smoking is a killing in the building. We don't play with that. A fire. When a man said to Zera Shimshon, you're learning with fire, you're learning with cheshek, you're just burning everything around. You learn Torah over here, your neighbors become tshuva. The guy next to you is changing himself. Akol kol Yaakov. How? Then we are dying with their side. You have no more power. Why? Because you are shover de klipa. Say to Zera Shimshon, Torah with no fire, it's garnished. Why HaKadosh Baruch Hu was need to bring a fire? And to bring and to make kafar lehem hakigigit. Because if we don't learn the Torah the way that we're supposed to learn and to get it, it's not Torah. It's only a magazine. A magazine is not changing a man. Torah is when you're screaming. Aritcha dorais, the Gemara say, when you say Talmid Chacham upset, it's because the Torah is burning inside. It's killing him. You have to be scared about it. Yes? אז ירחיק הלומדים מהזוהמה שהיא בעולם, שהתורה שהיא מסירה זוהמת הנחש, שהיא גם כן אש. The only way to remove from the nachash is the way of the learning. Torah that you don't do nothing is not helping. כדאמרינן בכתובות, שהתחייב שרפה ונופל בדלקה, או נחש מאחישו. We find the Gemara say that also if the 4 mitot bedin, they don't get today, but unfortunately if someone is chayav srefa, or is falling under fire, or a snake bite him. At the Zera Shimshon, what's the connection between a snake and a fire? The simple answer is because he's burning when he's biting. Say no, because the both of them is the same shoresh, is the shoresh of the esh. You're getting away. The zohamar of the nachash is by the Torah of the fire. That's why you have one of the both solutions. Or you learn in the Torah. If you're not in the Torah, one of the two. Chmana Itzlan. But the Torah is able to remove you the esh or the zohamar of the nachash. אבל צריך לתחוח ולעמול בה בכל כוחו. A Torah, it's only when you're doing with all your power. לכן נקרא תושייה שמתשת כוחו של אדם. The Gemara say about Rabbi Yochanan Rish Lakish that matisha כוחו של אדם, that he only was מקבל the Torah באהבה. He was already, his body was tired. Couldn't jump over, exactly. The Gemara in Masechet Bava Metzia, Sochat HaPoalim. Reb Chaim of Brisk, he had a tremendous headache. They didn't know what happened to him. They sent him to the biggest doctor in Vilna. And the doctor checked Reb Chaim from head to toes. Said, your body is perfect. He said, I'm sorry. I have headache. I cannot learn. I cannot see. So I don't know what to tell you. Make again. Check again and again. Till the end, he asked, what do you do the whole day, mister? He said, I'm learning. I don't understand. Learning is not making headaches. He asked, can I come and observe you when you're learning the Torah? No problem. It's in my place. I'm there all day from 7 o'clock in the morning till 4 o'clock in the morning. No problem. Come to see me. And the doctor came and he realized something. Reb Chaim of Brisk was learning, don't get scared, 38 dapim Gemara Be'iyun every day. Not Daf Yomi, but 38 page Be'iyun with all the Rishonim. And when he was learning, he was putting his 2 hands like that. And he was concentrating himself. And he was pushing so much pressure on his 2 sides of his head, he was blocking the blood to get to his head. And that's why he was headache, because he was not enough blood. He said, the doctor, you have only one way to stop him to have the headache, to attach his hand. And for till Reb Chaim was get used, there was attaching his hand to the seats. Like that, he was let his blood coming to his head and was not feeling. The Gemara says Rava was sitting and he was bleeding, he didn't feel it. He said, Ama Peziza. Not far away, Reb Chaim Brisk, in the 20th century. It happened already. It was again. That means learning. Learning means someone is learning be'emet with all the koach. You don't do nothing. You're only learning with nothing. If not, okay. I don't say you don't do nothing, but to be able to change you. Many people, they say, Rabbi, I'm learning. I don't see a difference in myself. That's very simple. You're learning. But to get the power of the Torah to become a new person, it's only one. You do all kocho. You want to do agalat kelim. If you don't do that, the world has come to abolition. It's not hagalah, I'm sorry. You want to do libun. If it's not red, it's not libun. You want to do a Torah, it's only when you're learning. The Ramchal say, why the Gehinam is hot? Why the Gehinam is hot? Why Hashem make Gehinam hot, not cold? Why not something is punching you? Why's hot? He say because kebolo kach polto. When we do an avera, we do usually with a lot of geschmack. He say that's why we need to remove the avera from the body. Say the Ramchal is the same. When you're learning the Torah with all your koach, then you do kebolo kach polto. The same fire you put inside, you put the fire to put outside. That's why the Arizal say, when a man is doing the matzot himself and he's sweating, the sweating of the mitzvah is polet the avera that is coming to the man. But the Zera Shimshon say over here, the real Torah, if someone wants to have Torah, it's only when you're doing with all your koach. When you come into the kolel, it's not enough. It's called chazak, learning. But do more. I want to finish with a beautiful story. Once, I'm sorry, I'm screaming too much. It was once a man came to Rabbi Yashiv and he say, Rabbi, I'm fighting with my wife every night. Every night I come home. It's the Third World War. The man say, Rabbi Yashiv answer, go to the kollel. Okay, he listen. And suddenly everything was well. He came back to Reb Chaim and said, Rabbi, I listened that the Torah is segula for parnasa, segula for kids. But I never knew there was segula for shalom bayit. What is the segula? And Rabbi Yashiv answered, he said, listen, a man, his nature, need to argument, need to fight. That is nature. When he's come to the kollel, he say mutar, he say asur, he say you're wrong, you're right, and they're fighting on the Gemara. That's it. He gets his dose of argument. When he's come home, yes, darling, yes, darling, yeah, you don't need. When he's not learning, he needs his argument. No, you're right, no, you're right, no, you're right, no, you're wrong, they're fighting. He say that a man need is beteva, is a nature of a yid that Kadosh Baruch Hu created, say Rabbi Yashiv, that we need something, we need to fight, we need to have, not fighting, we need to have it, the ritcha. If you don't use it in the right way, you need to use it some different way. That's why you go to discuss about stupidities, how long the shaitel and how much it will cost. What do you care? You know exactly what to buy and that's it. Say, yes, you're right, darling, whatever you need that I'll give you. And she will be the most happy in the end. She will buy the less and not the most. And if you say no, then she will go and to buy the opposite. Rav Shach say, when you say no to your wife once, then you suffer for the rest of your life. Say once the first time, and then you hockey for the rest of the life. Rav Shach say, I can show you in the Sfarim, that not basipurim. That's why he say, עוד יש טעם אחר, אני אעשה למה התורה באש, כדי, I'm finished with that, כדי לרמוז לישראל, שאם יעסקו בתורה בכל כוחם, ינצלו מדינה של גיהינם, like we mentioned, that if we learn the Torah, that we have no Gehinam. A man want to be sure that he will not go to Gehinam. It's very simple. Learn the Torah. be מטחיח, באש. משום פרק גם אחר מרבי ההוא, אמר רבי תלמידי חכמים, אין אור של גיהינם שולטת בהם. And the Gemara say that the תלמידי חכמים, they will not go in the Gehinam. קו החומר מסלמנדרה, זה מחלקת in the poskim. What salmandra, if it's a achbar, is a rat, or is a mice, or it's in tortue. It's a tortue in English. You know what? You have the cover on the top. Turtle. That's the market in the poskim. תלמידי חכמים שגופן כאש, הלא כה דברי כאש, על אחת כמה וכמה. If just we know the chashivut of the Torah, we have the power of the Torah, then everything, the whole life will be a different story. Everything. Sometimes we're trying, and we don't try the right way. It's not enough to learn, and to learn the most. And that's why the Zera Shimshons continue over here, and he explained about the whole concept of chiyuv. It's light already. I was not thinking it will be so long to speak. But the one thing we have to remember, when he's talking about learning his sefer, the Zera Shimshon, he's not sitting, yes, in English, yes, a story, a beautiful rabbi, magnificent story. That's not what he's talking. Learning. We mentioned that how come he is able to be maftiach, whatever is maftiach, because the Torah promised before, in bechukotai telechu. What's bechukotai telechu? Rashi say, tiyu amelim b'Torah. When we have amal Torah, then for sure, Kadosh Baruch Hu is maftiach everything. When we do, we have amal, we're learning, we're doing, then Kadosh Baruch Hu is retiring everything. And the Zera Shimshon say, that's why Klal Yisrael gets scared, because they say, we ask him, we see the Torah, no problem. Learning, no problem. But learning with amal, learning with all the koach, that we can't. The Chazon Ish once, they find him on the floor. He say, why? He say, I'm learning till I count how many power I have to do 2 steps till my bed. But tonight, I didn't calculate well, and I was only stay with 1 koach to do 1 step, and I fell on the floor. The Chazon Ish was learning till tashash kochoto, till the end of his power. That's why he became the Chazon Ish. And it's not for nothing called Ish, that milashon esh, that he is be'emet HaKadosh Baruch Hu shoreh, Ish, the Gemara says, Ish ve'isha, Shechina shchuya b'neihem, that he didn't have the children of the Chazon Ish, but all the children of the Chazon, all his Torah, the whole world, he was able to change with his midot, everything. How? Because be'emet, he was learning with all this koach. You know, you have 2 sfarim, the Ktsot and the Avnei Miluim. The Ktsot is mekubal by everyone. The Avnei Miluim on Even HaEzer, not accounting everyone. And one that asked Rav Eliashiv 1, he said because the Ktsot, he wrote it when he was very poor. And that's why he was learning Bechol Kocho. The Avni Miluim, he wrote it when he was already rich. He had money. He was not so much bechol kocho. That's why he was not mekubal, the Avni Miluim in the yeshivas, like the Ktsos. He was mitkabel because he was not the same bechol kocho. Baruch Hu mizake otanu, that every time we're learning, we'll be bechol kochi, bechol kocheinu, and then we'll be mashlim the klipa, removing the klipa from the entire world, not only on us, and to be marzir the whole Klal Yisrael b'tshuva. And b'zchudat Mashiach Tzidkenu will be the ultimate tikkun, not only on us, for all Klal Yisrael, for all the nation, and to come back and b'mirav yamenu Mashiach Tzidkenu.
Amen.